Good morning, folks. Believe it or not, it's like almost 10 a.m. and this is already cup number 3 because, well, it's going to be a busy day and I'm prepping for it. In the meantime, banks are getting in. They don't think crypto's a scam. They don't think it's a scam at all. And for those people who still feel that way, I don't know what to say. Maybe they're not seeing some of these things, or maybe they have other intentions. I'm not sure, but here's another bank. So here it looks like a $185 billion bank known as KeyBank now lets 3.5 million clients buy and hold Bitcoin and crypto. Just keep in mind, when they say Bitcoin, they just mean crypto, okay? Because that's just because everybody knows what Bitcoin is, but they're not familiar with the differences and the varieties. So it says here, traditional finance is onboarding fast. And you better believe that it is. They're taking it seriously. They need to get ready. Even though the Genius Act has been signed, it's still going to be, from what I understand, about 18 months out before it takes full effect. There's a lot of stuff that needs to happen in the meantime, but banks see the writing on the wall and they're like, hey man, I need to be ready to go to market straight to my customers. So I'm going to show you a quick video of what this bank CEO has to say, and I want you to focus on a couple of quotes. I wrote them down here. I want you to focus on when he says prime brokerage is the institutional piece. Keep in mind, Ripple bought a prime brokerage a little while ago called Hidden Road, okay? And he says that is huge volume in those prime brokerage, and that'll be dominated by a single handful of international banks. What do you think Ripple is prepping for? That's why they bought it. There's a strategy to this, so you need to look at the long, at the long arc of it. Also, he says they're going to allow people to hold these values or these coins or these assets in their own wallets because they want them as a store of value, he says. And as far as a challenge from crypto to a bank, he says that they think that they're going to be tokenizing deposits. Well, when you tokenize a deposit, it's got to live on a blockchain somewhere. So I guess the fear from banks might be like, oh, well, they're not going to need us at all. I don't really see it that way. I think what's going to end up happening is banks are going to, just like now, they're going to allow you to have your bank account, but it'll be in a wallet right there on your phone, Bank of America, crypto wallet, and you can have all that stuff in there that you need, for example. And then you can just trade responsibly and have it be insured. You can monetize it, set up CDs and all that within your own phone, but it'll still be their software protecting you, their software insuring you, that kind of thing. Can you see that? And they're going to have to utilize blockchains, third-party blockchains, because nobody's going to just want to trust Bank of America's coin over at Citigroup or over at JP Morgan or over at SBI in Japan. They want, they're going to trust their own coin. But what's the coin they can all trust? Well, it could be like an XRP, an XLM, for example, and that would make a lot of sense. Now, he also talks about international transfers. What does that best? XRP does that best. Yeah, you could do it with XLM for small amounts. And so he's talking about consumers like you and I. So chances are XLM would be the platform for those payments. Those huge international payments he's going to be mentioning here, that's more of a prime brokerage thing, and that's an XRP dominated asset. Larger volumes, larger values. So are you following? I hope so, because words mean things, and you're listening to these people addressing those things. So hopefully this gives you a little more information to chew on. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and bookmark. Let me know what you think about this piece of news in the comments, and we will see you guys on the next one. Till next time, adios amigos. Check out the video.
Around stablecoin and crypto, how are you feeling about getting in and using it as potentially a platform and option for your clients?
I mean, it's early, but I think it has a lot of promise, and particularly around stablecoin. And obviously, the Genius Act was just last week. But when you think about stablecoin, there's really a few things. There's the institutional piece, which will be the equivalent of like prime brokerage. That will be dominated by a single handful of international banks. The huge volume, relatively narrow margins. That's not really an opportunity or a challenge for us. The next is as a store of value. And clearly, to the extent, Sarah, that our clients want it and they want to hold it in their wallets, we will accommodate that. And so we'll be sure to do that. Then there's the sort of discussion around, is it going to cannibalize deposits at banks? I actually think that's a fair, I think it's a threat, but I don't think it's an immediate threat. And I think the industry will respond. I mean, whether it's with tokenized deposits, which I think you'll see banks like Key do, and you may well see. I don't envision Key issuing a coin per se, but I could see us as part of a consortium of banks that issues a coin. And then I think the two best applications are really international payments. Right now, international payments are sort of this Byzantine approach of, all these correspondent banks. It takes a long time. There's a lot of friction. I think stable coins could be a really good solution for our clients. It could be faster, cheaper, better.